Ed took this bridge-esque section, this little instrumental section, and turned it into something quite spectacular. It's just over that D, C, and G again, and it sounds like this. Everybody plays like this. But Ed decided to take it off of the other members in the band and spice it up a little bit more, and it sounded something like this. And then, just looking at that, learning that was a pain because of the timing. It's just the coordination of the hammer-ons and the pull-offs. I just love that little walk up into that. Ed King, you are the man. I could go on and on about that song forever, but I wanted to cover some other intricate Ed King parts today. And you know, you look at like a song, like a Sweet Home Alabama, for example, and everybody says, oh, you know, it's just DCG. But then you look at what Ed did to the song. Yeah, it's DCG if you play it the basic way, but you look at it's actually a challenging song to play for 3 chords. Just the intro alone. I mean, there's a lot going on there. I'm palm muting. I'm hammering on it, or you're like picking 2 notes and kind of doing some muting. I mean, that's a nice little walk up in G right there. And then this little, getting that palm, that pinch harmonic right there. And even in the song, when you look at some of the basic instrumental parts, and you kind of hear me doing that whole choppy picking I showed you earlier. And that makes it sound so much more like Ed, because that's what he was doing. He wasn't just going. And he was like. And it just sounds a lot fuller, richer, cooler. And does the same thing throughout all of his pieces in the song. He even throws in a little bit of those harmonics right there. Beautiful. And then you can see in the chorus something that goes under the radar. A lot of stuff going under the radar in the song, but they got that. When he's picking those chords, and he's talked about this, he's only doing upstrokes. And it's kind of hard for me to do, but I'm tempted to go to the downstroke, so when I hit a downstroke, I usually do a little bit of a deaden the strings. It gives it that percussive feeling. So the upstrokes give it a different quality as opposed to going. The rest of the band's doing downstrokes, but Ed's got his special little way of doing the song. So that's a pretty cool part right there on its own. And some other stuff that's really interesting from Ed, and we'll end it with this nice little bonus. A couple things. I talk about the song Saturday Night Special and the cool chord tricks he uses in there. So Of course, you want to hear it with the delay. So we're just going to get in here and give it something. Oh yeah. So let's see, just kind of winging it. I love that song, and what he did to that song is quite amazing. So just the basic intro, you're looking at power chords, but playing around that B, A, and D shape. That's just like that all right now chord. You can do so much. And that delay is a little excessive. And I love how he throws in some vibrato. It's done by using the trem arm, or you can just do it with your fingers. I used to not have a trem, so that's what I would do. And he takes these chords once again. These are these triads, but he's taking out the D string. And he's playing higher up. So that's a pretty cool chord trick, and it can make your playing sound quite interesting. And another thing, it's like a lead, but he's not playing lead, he's playing chords for his lead. And then in this song, some other cool things, he ends the riff on a E triad. Now I played a few different, I played the much fuller chord because I try and take the place of two guitars sometimes, but when you're playing Skinner you got to do that. So you got this, he's got two guitars playing, slides right in, that's an E chord, but also there's another guitar up here going with just an E. And you got, so you just throw in a triad and add some vibrato and play everything. It's a pretty full chord right there. And I'll even take the triad and I'll bar this entire second fret through the G string, and I'm playing like that. That's a pretty cool chord. Just love that. And so some really sneaky tricks there. Now Ed King takes it a step further. You got a little chorus in that song. I'm just gonna, this is so cool. Oh, he's doing some pinch harmonic, not pinch harmonic, he's doing some harmonic type stuff. They're not really clear, but it's just more percussive rhythm technique. So what he's doing there, the chorus is really, you know, the rest of the band's playing B, and then they're following that, but Ed's deciding to add more. And that's cool because he's leading into the B. And he's playing a B. And then while I'm trying to play this, I'm deadening the D string. Okay, so that brings me to how you can play with more variety. You want to be better at guitar, playing the same thing every time. It's nice, but you're probably going to get bored at some point playing the same thing every time. So notice how I played just different versions of these chords down here to give it a certain sound. I was like going for a certain sound. And it sounds like this. I played the first one. Now I can play the second one. I can do it again in different ways. You can, knowing where your chords are on the neck, and this is just some basic ways. I don't know all the chords, but this is some really easy ways to make your playing more interesting, because every chord here sounds different. I personally prefer the ones that are more open, using the higher strings here, lower strings, higher strings. But adding in some bass too, and some trem can really make your playing sound more interesting. Last thing I want to finish off here is some stuff that Ed did in a slow, soulful song called I Need You. And what he did with basic arpeggios. So let's say you're playing a song that's like this one, A minor, C, and D, and maybe throws in a G somewhere. And you're getting like, you're just droning on and on and on, and you want something a little bit more interesting. Well, one of the ways to make it more interesting is to find ways to play leads within your arpeggios. So as you're going, it almost appears like it's part of the song. You're not trying to do anything too much, but it's really accenting the background. So Ed, for example, in the beginning of the song, when there's a lead going on, he's playing behind the lead like this. In things like that. All that is A minor. So you can interweave chords with lead to make your rhythm not so boring, to make your rhythm more fun to play. Versus just playing. Which that has its place too. So when you're looking at weaving in chords and lead, this is a great example of how Ed does it tastefully. And even over the vocals, you hear the same thing.
Bye.